Hello there and welcome to the lovely foyer of White River Cinema here in St Austell. I'm of course joined by fabulous White River Will, or WTW Will. I'm still trying to come up with nicknames here. I'm workshopping.
Yes, yeah.
We're here today to talk about latest and greatest, what's coming up, what's been happening.
Yes, yeah, all the cinema news.
I'm looking forward to it. How's it been going? I know this time of year we said it's sort of awards season as well, isn't it, this time of year?
Yes, yeah, so we just had the BAFTAs recently and the Oscars are coming up. So we're in the midst of that. So normally January, February time you will get a few more of the awards specific films released. But as February hits, you've got the half term and Valentine's, so we've got a few more of the mainstreamer big hitters coming out as well. So.
I never really, as an average moviegoer, I don't think about how you're affected throughout the year in the sense of the seasons like that.
It is
but it's
funny,
curious, you do get affected by it.
Yes, yeah, it's not a seasonal job in like regards to weather, but it can improve. Like at summertime, you'll get more people on holiday, so it can improve like that. And Christmas, people want to go out. So there is seasonal elements, but not necessarily in the usual traditional sense of seasonal elements. So.
It's what you guys know, but to us
our
we're
season is
completely
different to
oblivious.
yours. Yes, yeah.
Us outsiders. I'm looking forward. I'm going to ask you because it's normally you'd be joined by Nathan today, folks. Normally, however, I'm filling in, and it's good because, like I say, I've got some questions.
Got an upgrade today, yeah.
I've got some questions from such an average cinema goer, and I'm be interested to get your opinions on some of these
Definitely,
things.
yes. On the season thing, before I forget though, it can often depend on what has done well previously. So the Avengers films were released in April, and it's not really a particular great time of year. It was often after a holiday, it was after Easter, before the half term. But because they performed well in that slot previously, they would then keep that slot. So sometimes a busy film week might be a completely random week to everyone else, but because it's done historically
that's
well, yes, then
That's
they will stick to
curious,
those
isn't
dates.
it?
Yeah, and sometimes it will affect from America as well with their holidays. You have like Labor Day, Thanksgiving.
Are we
things like
pretty
that.
much caught up after the pandemic now? Would you say
We are coming up at different stages.
production-wise?
So last year we had a few things held back, like Top Gun came out, and we had a really good mid of the year, like May, June was fantastic. We had Top Gun, Elvis, Jurassic World, Minions, Super Pets. August, September did tail off, and we were seeing then it was not many films being released. It's one big one every 2 or 3 weeks. It wasn't a lot of big releases. Whereas you look at this year's calendar, I think they're catch up now, getting on, and you look at the programme, it is definitely a lot stronger.
See, it's curious as well because I mean that was 2 years of production taken out of this for a lot of people, wasn't it? So we're now still sort of playing catch up in that sense.
Absolutely, and you see some films being released. Like Empire of Light, I don't know if you did see that one, but that was filmed during the pandemic, and you can see when you look at it some of the positioning of the cast.
A bit distant.
Yes, yeah. I think, well, that's not quite right, and you think, oh. That was probably why.
That would be why.
Filming that day, there's sort of like their distance is there. And
It's the things you notice, isn't it, nowadays? So obviously not affected by social distancing was Puss in Boots.
Absolutely not.
So I've seen Puss in Boots. You're yet to see it, aren't you?
Yes.
How's the reception been so far?
Brilliant. Yeah, I've heard really good things about it. So all ages.
Yes.
Adults, kids, everyone's enjoying it. So it's really good fun.
Yeah, like I said to you earlier, it's obviously part of the Shrek franchise.
Yes.
But a bit of a spin-off in that sense that they've gone their own route. But I thoroughly enjoyed it as from a 20-something-year-old man. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yeah, we've had lots of older couples coming in, older groups and stuff for this. And there's a chap who used to work with us. He's been in to watch a couple of times, and he said his friends at uni have been to see it like 4 or 5 times. They just can't get enough of it. So it's appealing
It's
to
curious, isn't it? But I think we now forget how old Shrek is.
I know.
And I think this is part of it. You know, that's 20 years now, which to me is absolutely mind-blowing. But then you've also, so you've got those fans, those older fans of the series coming back to watch it as well.
Yeah, we noticed that a couple of years ago we had the Incredibles sequel. So obviously the ones that were children and loved it then, they were now themselves parents bringing their children in to watch it. So we have big gaps.
There was a bit of a gap between obviously Finding Nemo and Finding Dory as well that time, wasn't there?
Yes.
So those big gaps, then it does bring them back around again.
Yeah, different cycles. So.
And then on the subject of animation and taking their time, obviously you've seen Toy Story 4 has been announced.
5.
5.
Yeah,
5.
sorry. Yeah.
See? 5.
Toy Story 5, yeah.
5.
Frozen 3.
Frozen 3 and Toy Story 5.
Yeah, I'm not sure about those two. So, spoiler alert for Toy Story 4 is that Woody has left the gang, isn't he? Because they go to like a circusy area, carnival.
That's with Bo Peep who returns.
Yes. Yeah. So he's gone off with her. So how they're going to do the new one? Are they going to focus on him, or are they going to go off with Buzz and the other gang? So they recently done that Lightyear film as well, and that didn't do brilliantly, but that was a different approach.
Yeah, because that was the Buzz Lightyear film was if I'm correct, it was a film within the Toy Story universe of the character Buzz Lightyear.
Yes, yeah. It was about him as a real person, or the
It's getting
character
very
he is.
confusing, isn't it?
Rather than the toy, it was Buzz Lightyear as Buzz Lightyear.
The character
that makes sense. Yes, yeah.
So like you say, with number 5, you wonder whether, I'm wondering if it's going to be sort of 2 storylines that sort of interconnect in the sense of Buzz and the gang and Woody and that lot somehow.
Yeah.
I just don't know where they're going to go.
Yes.
And same with Frozen 3. I'm not sure where they're going to go with that.
I've got a guess on that one, and I imagine might be children getting involved.
Oh, okay.
That's my
that's your bet then now.
Yeah.
I think what they're always going to try and go for is they're always going to try and hit the Let It Go song, aren't they? They're always going to try and get to that level of song, because I know they did Into the Unknown in number 2, and that was very popular. Not quite Let It Go popular, but that's what they're aiming for, I think, all the time.
Yeah.
So this is the third chance to go for that big musical number.
Yes, yeah. But I'm thinking children.
You think something to do with the children? So on the subject of animation, obviously Mario movie.
Oh yes, yeah. You're looking forward to that one, aren't you? So,
yeah. Thoughts and feelings on that?
Well, it's going to be controversial in the current people around me, but I'm not a big Mario fan. So
really,
no.
What, the games or the man himself? What, did he do your plumbing and you forgot to send a bill? What's happened?
Just generally, I just don't see the overall appeal of Mario.
Did you ever play the games?
I did a little bit on the Game Boy, just in bouncing around in it. So I was always more into Sonic and stuff like that.
And I can kind of say with the Mario film, you know what's going to happen.
Yeah,
it's going to be Princess Peach needs rescuing. Mario rescues her.
I expect it's going to be something along those lines.
There's going to be something. It's good cast though, really good cast.
Yeah, great voice cast. The animation looks really good. They've done a good job, and it will definitely be a big draw for the fans. Whether it will draw as many casual fans, I'm not sure, because the thing with Sonic done really well is that it was live action CGI through Sonic into a world that we were familiar with. Whereas you've got to be familiar or like the Mario world
with
to enjoy this, haven't you? So,
it's a curious, and like you say, that Sonic, it done that. It's a real hard balance of getting video games to TV and film at the moment. I know, obviously, recently the Last of Us series has done amazingly.
Yeah.
But it's a real thin line of getting it right a lot of the time.
It can be great. It can be terrible, because we were talking about this the other day. Like Tomb Raider's been hit and miss. The Angelina Jolie ones were good, but then Alicia Vikander done one that didn't do so well, and the Hitman film wasn't great. Assassin's Creed didn't do very well. So they do vary.
It's true, because they've got all. I think with video games is the fact that you've got these really long storylines. You know, these are games that are meant to be played over multiple hours. For a long time. So then a lot of the time, trying to squeeze that into 2-hour runtime can be quite difficult.
Definitely, yes, yeah. And some of the plots can be a bit loose, can't they, as well? So
I think with the Mario film, they've obviously got that that all-star cast behind them. They've got those that name power behind them. Chris Pratt voicing Mario, which I think people are going to want to see, whether they're there to see the film or not. They're going to want to hear this accent. Obviously, Jack Black as Bowser as well. I'm looking forward to hearing that.
Yes.
Anna Taylor-Joy as well. I think she's voice of Princess Peach. So I mean, I will put my hands up and say I do miss the days of animation not relying on big names on the poster.
I've covered this before, and because I write in the paper and stuff, and sort of go back to when it sort of increased with having to have the star names in animations, and I pin it down probably for Aladdin, which had Robin Williams being a genie.
Yes.
And from then it sort of got more and more. I mean, they've had big names before that, but sort of gradually towards the end of the 90s with Shrek bringing the big names in, Toy Story. Tom Hanks and
and I think it is. I mean, you feel for that sort of voice actors in a way, isn't it? Because this is their job in that sense.
Yes, because you look back to the old, the old '60s Disney animations, and you had your like core ones working, and you would hear the voices in Jungle Book. Oh yeah, I've heard him in
Phil Harris
Robin
a lot of the time. Coming up through all of those classic ones. Like I say, I think it's more of the fact that, because I know in the older Disney ones as well, you had a person that would do the singing lines and a person that would do the speaking lines a lot of the time as well. It'd be 2 different people. But I do think we need to sort of get back to that, and just because there's somebody's name on the poster, it doesn't mean anything.
No, and you do get some animations which aren't brilliant, but they put a name to it, so they sort of, I hope that will cover over.
And there is a difference between acting and voice acting as well. I think you can tell that, again, going back to like the first Shrek. Cameron Diaz in the first one, you've not got that animatedness to it almost a lot of the time. You can tell they're used to acting rather than
voice
overacting in the sense of voice acting, you know, where all you've got is to go off is the audio.
You've got obviously Eddie Murphy as Donkey, he was good, but he'd already done Mushu before and Mulan and stuff.
This is it. So yeah, no, it's interesting to see the way it's going like that as well.
Yeah.
So what else is on the cards? What have we got coming up?
So Puss in Boots we've done. Ant-Man is out at the moment. So Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania.
Yeah, I'm on the bench still.
You've seen it?
I'm not yet to see it. I'm up to date though. I've done Wakanda Forever, so I'm up to date. So the next one is now Ant-Man.
Ant-Man, yes, yeah. Avoid the TV series because I just
you
know, wormholes and that stuff. So
what's the consensus?
I have seen Ant-Man.
Okay.
And I enjoyed it. It was good fun. But my issue and the issue that everyone else seems to have is they have borrowed a lot from Star Wars.
Oh.
There's a lot of characters that look like they're in Star Wars. It's not saying it's a bad thing.
No.
But you do see, that looks like Star Wars. Oh, someone else said, yeah, that's like the cantina scene. It's a bit like the Force.
Yes.
So there's a lot of Star Wars influence
I think it's
within
getting,
it.
especially in the Marvel franchise, in the MCU, it's all getting a bit samey in the sense of what space looks like. And I think it's such a shame with Ant-Man is though, even we've gone so small, you could just tell me we're in space again. Looking at some of the scenes in Ant-Man, it just looks like you're in space.
Exactly, that's what I said, because it's supposed to be the quantum realm, not outer space. This is the issue, that they've gone to make it look like Star Wars, so it does look like outer space, whereas in the quantum realm it should be something a bit different maybe. I don't know what they could have done. And it was good fun. I like the characters and there's some funny little ones, but you just, like I said, it does seem more spacey than quantum. You sort of think, you're in space.
We've sort of seen a lot of space over the past few years.
What is good is that Kang is the new villain.
Jonathan Majors, isn't he? Very good.
And he is superb.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
I think he's got a lot of heavy lifting coming his way in the sense of going to be playing lots of different Kangs and different versions of himself and things like this. So I think down the line he's got his paycheck cut out for him, that he's going to be carrying it for quite a while.
The new villain. He's basically replaced Thanos as the.
Do you keep up to date with the Marvel films then?
Films, yes. I've tried a couple of TV series and I'm not overly impressed with them. So, and like Loki, that was probably one of the better ones. But again, there was a few duff episodes.
I know they've said that they're sort of pulling back on the series now this year, the Disney Plus, and I think they're only actually putting 2 series out this year. I think the new Loki season and another one as well. Secret Invasion, I think. I think that's the only 2 they're actually putting out now this year. I think they've realised they may have diluted us a little bit too much. A bit of over sensing of it too much.
A bit too much Marvel, and you do see that. I think people are a little bit sort of.
What's the consensus among the public with it all?
I think that is the general consensus.
A bit of fatigue.
I think your hardcore ones probably maybe enjoying it, but again, there are some dubious episodes and not great series, but they are still enjoying majority of the films. But the whole phase hasn't been the best, and since the last Avengers film, I think they are still struggling to find what they're going to do. Now they've brought Majors in as Kang. I think that will boost the series and get them back on the footing, because there's going to be more Avengers films. Yeah,
they definitely sort of lost their path a little bit, and I think a lot of the time, I could honestly do a whole Marvel podcast about this. I've got lots of opinions, lots of thoughts and feelings. But I said throughout the first few phases, you obviously had Tony Stark as sort of not as a lead, but as a lead in the sense that you followed him all the way through. He appeared in, I think, 80% of those first few phases in some way or another. So you had that anchor to always bring you back to that sort of thing, as it were. Whereas now, I don't think we've had that lead, as it were, in the Marvel films, where you don't know who the Avengers team are anymore.
No.
I couldn't tell you who's on the team, what they're up to. And I think a lot of the time there's like a power scaling problem. If every time in every one of these films it's an end of universe event that they're all fighting, where's the power level? Where are the ones that are saving cats from trees? Bank robbers, things like, I think you need to get back down to those almost neighborhood level heroes to make those bigger ones feel the impact.
I know what you mean, because like the first Ant-Man film I really enjoyed, because that was a bit more low key. It was more of a heist comedy film, really, wasn't it? And the supporting characters. But they're trying to explode things too much. And how the Avengers are going to pan out in the future, we don't really know. I would say the Black Panther was very good.
Yes,
that was a very good film. It wasn't necessarily Marvel-y, but I think it needed that more gravitas and depth.
Absolutely.
And obviously, Angela Bassett's been nominated for BAFTA and Oscar
brilliant.
as well.
She is
supporting
amazing.
actress, she was, excellent. So that is probably one of the best films. But it's not a particularly marvelly film. But I think that's what they needed. That's sort
almost
of
focus
there.
on them more as individual films as they are, rather than how they fit into this.
Yes. And next up is Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yes.
So that because I love the other two.
So is this the last Guardians of the Galaxy, though?
It should be, I think so, because James Gunn is leaving to go to DC. So this is his last Guardians. I think it'll be the last standalone Guardians film, but they might obviously turn up in Avengers films and other.
Yeah, and I'm sure I've
like
heard
that,
rumours that, it's probably going to be the last time we see Chris Pratt as Star-Lord and things like this a lot of the time.
Yeah. I think they're all sort of,
You can't let me go for so long, can't you? You know, you've still got the original ones. You think how long Chris Hemsworth's been doing Thor now?
Yes, yeah.
And all of these ones, it's only fair enough.
Yeah. He's still within the franchise, isn't he? He's still going. But obviously, Robert Downey Jr. is gone. Chris Evans is gone.
This is it.
So
it does happen.
Yeah.
So I did notice on the poster over there Creed as well.
Yeah,
You're going to have to humour me about this, about Creed and Rocky and things like this, because I'll put my hands up now. I have never seen a Rocky film. I've eaten plenty of Rocky bars, but I've never seen the film. So tell me about it.
So Creed is spinning off from the original Rocky series. So it was always Sylvester Stallone as Rocky the Boxer. Then he got older. It's a bit of a real lack of any Rocky that's going on because he was older. Then he thought, he come back as a coach, and he's brought in Michael B. Jordan, who plays Adonis Creed, who is the son of Apollo Creed.
Right.
And he died in the Rocky film. So this is his son, and Rocky's now his trainer. Sylvester Stallone hasn't got anything to do with this new film. He's done the first two, he has stepped aside. Michael B. Jordan, who is the star, is also directing this film. So that'll be an interesting
He's got both
take on
hats
things.
on, yeah.
And the earlier mentioned Jonathan Majors is joining this as the adversary.
It's a good year for Jonathan Majors, isn't it?
Yes, real breakthrough. So his character is a childhood friend of Creed's, but he's gone to prison and stuff like that. But he always thought he was a better boxer.
Right.
Now he's come out and he sort of tries to help him get him back on track, but he just wants a big fight and payday and stuff like that. So
how much is it focused on boxing, or is it sort of like the drama away from it all?
That's the thing with boxing in real life, though, that they only have like 2 or 3 fights a year, don't they? Especially the heavyweights. So there is a lot more
to it,
about the build-up and like the psychological stuff and your relationships, and like how much you put aside to become the best boxer and how much you sacrifice to get to that level. So they do cover that a lot within these films, like the off-fight
I can imagine there's some good storylines there, and there's sense of drama happening outside the ring. I think, with anything like this, there's always more drama outside the ring than there is in.
Yes, so it's probably 60-40 to drama to the fighting itself,
So it suits both people in that sense. Then.
Yes, definitely.
Do you think it's going to get the Rocky crowd in for that one?
Oh, absolutely.
That's
yes.
what
The other two films are very good, so I enjoyed them both.
Times I recognize mine, I know that they needed me. Traumatic stress, watch it manifest. Got my only fear, I ain't scared of death. Did you hear me yet? I ain't scared of death. Did you hear me yet? What you gonna do? Threaten to take my breath?
I need you to let go of your fear. Let go of the guilt. Let go of whatever was and walk into what is.
I feel those chains are breaking, I fear God, I don't fear death. I see those stripes and take a step.
So I know you've got lots of live events coming up again soon, or live theatre, feeling very cultured.
Event cinema, yes. So
what's on the cards there?
We've got a musical one returning to the cinema, Anything Goes. So it's the Cole Porter one. And it's got Robert Lindsay, Gary Wilmot, and Felicity Kendall on that one. So we did show that one previously, but popular demand, they have re-released it on the 14th and 19th of March. So it does coincide with Mother's Day. I think they might be looking at that.
That's quite a nice one. Yeah. See, I've heard the soundtrack to Anything Goes, and I know a few of the songs, but I've never actually watched.
It's great fun.
Yeah.
I saw it a few years ago. Well, I've seen it here, but on stage as well. And it's brilliant. It's great fun. The songs are brilliant.
What's the premise? Is it when they're settling in America or something like this?
It's on the cruise ship. They're going across in the boat, and there's like a relationship going on. There's some romantic confusion and stuff like that. So it's very good fun. Yeah.
The only information I've got from it is what I've sort of heard from the songs.
Yeah, some of them are brilliant songs as well. So,
absolute proper classics like those ones. They're the ones that you don't know you knew. Sort of thing, like to regular people. You sort of go, I have heard that before.
Yeah, and it's from that. So definitely worth a watch.
That's a good one.
So colourful, great music, good cast.
So really good. So how does that work? Is it captured up in London?
Yeah, this one is filmed, so that's filmed on stage and then recorded and sent out to us. So some of them are live. The operas and ballets always tend to be actually broadcast live. So this satellite, they'll be filming it on stage, do some rehearsals, and then that's broadcast to us live.
See, that's amazing.
And then some of them are filmed and recorded and sent across. So
is it quite quick turnaround for them to send it down?
It can be. I think with the filming, they normally film it quite a bit in advance so they can really get the edit correctly done, and they'll film it from different techniques and different angles. So there might be, they say, oh, this, because they'll film it with the audience there. So they might do it over a couple of nights and probably have camera one side of the stage, one side central.
Capture it. I was about to say, do they still have the audience? And I kind of think that's part of it, really, isn't it? Especially being live.
Yes, yeah.
That's part of it.
Yeah, but there's no difference to it being recorded live and being broadcast live. So some people really like to have it broadcast live as if they're part of the event, but there's no difference in the product. It's still exactly the same. So
saying about filming and people and being there and things like this, I've got to ask, this is one of my average cinema girl questions. Is it still a projector that's used?
Yes, yeah, but it's no longer 35mm projector, so I don't know if you're thinking you still got the old film reels that spin around. So
I just think because you don't see, like, obviously nowadays in the cinema, the quality is so good compared to 20 years ago. You know, you don't get so much static on screen, so much of the flickering. You don't see anybody's heads popping up in front of the screen or anything like this, you know.
Yeah, you shouldn't have the heads pop up anyway. Anytime. So the heads, our cinema, we're very lucky. We've got the stadium seating, so we're all sort of teamed up.
So it won't affect.
So it's not raked, which is just like a gradual like that, like you get in a lot of theatres. So we're like that. So you won't have
stadium.
Yeah, so you all see out. You've got a good view wherever you sit. 35mm, when you'd have the static and the flickering, that's where the join is. So it would come in parts. You'd have to fuse the film together.
Oh my god!
So on the fuse bit, that's sometimes where you get like
that
the
was when it
flicker.
Go over. How do you fuse it together? This is getting very interesting.
You'd have to ask a projection.
Really?
I find it very interesting. Basics and digital projection.
Yeah,
I'm not.
So what's the setup nowadays? If it's not that, is it still a projector in a sense?
Yes, so still the projector. We are phasing over to have laser projectors put in. We've had a couple across the sites already coming in. So at the moment, there's a Xenon lamp, which has always been the case in projectors. But so we're going to laser. It's sent down. Normally now it's via satellite. File come in, downloaded, ingested onto your system. Then you have to create a playlist, so you have to put the lights, the sound, adverts, trailers, everything that accompanies the film. So it's not just like a video, put it in.
So you don't get like I'm imagining the reel coming down in the post.
No, no reels anymore.
Reel.
No, they still do the odd 35 down Truro. They've still got a 35. We have still got the 35 projector up there.
Yeah.
But we haven't shown a 35 film for years. So the projection engineer comes down a couple of times a year to service all the units, and he will run it through to make sure it's still operational.
Doing what it's meant to do, yeah.
But we haven't shown one for a long time. But Truro still do the 35. So it's nice to go and have a look at, because you still see some of them, like you said, the cracked in this. But
it just gives it that feel of it, doesn't it, I think sometimes. What you used to.
So,
it's very curious, all this, you know. Where do you stand on the subject of people taking their shoes off in the cinema, Will?
That's a no.
I don't do it. I don't do it. I would never. I'm not getting these dogs out. No, it's a no.
No, it's a no.
No, not getting comfy. What about bringing blankets and pillows?
That's okay.
You're all right with that?
I don't know. A pillow or what. Blankets are fine.
Yeah.
Just sit around that. So.
I'm not saying for what reason. I'm just saying because I get a bit cold. That's all.
Yes. No. Bring a blanket. That's fine. So we've got a couple spare here. Actually, we've had to use before.
Do people have any sort of weird habits, things like that you've noticed?
Oh, there's lots of weird habits.
What's the weirdest? What's the weirdest?
Some of the food choices, I suppose, can be a bit odd, can't they?
I'm not taking this personally. I'm not taking that personally at all. The Henry combo is going to go down in history. It's going to be part of legend. Don't you worry.
I'm trying to think. What's the weirdest options? I don't know.
Does it get that messy in them anymore afterwards?
Yeah.
Do they still?
What's better now than it ever used to be is people will bring their boxes and cups and stuff out. So we collect with the rubbish, and it's taken a while, but I'd say 90% will now bring their stuff out for us to put in rubbish and recycling bags, so that's better.
So getting us back on track, because I've divulged, Life of Pi as well.
Yes, that's another event cinema one. So National Theatre presenting that one, and it's going to be similar to the Warhorse presentation. So it's going to be a bit of puppetry, but there's a lot more new animated illumination techniques that they're going to be doing within it. So
it's very clever, isn't it? I mean, obviously I've watched the Life of Pi film, and it's amazing. So to then imagine them doing that with puppets is something else.
I think it'll probably be better than the film.
Yeah.
I think the story of the film was good, and it's an interesting concept, but it did. It's a bit of a pun, drift a little bit. Whereas I think on the stage with the puppets and the characters and the way it's going to be, I think you're going to be more drawn and more involved in that.
Yeah, I mean, fair play to that, especially because you're going to have, so it's going to be sort of like that one actor playing Pie, isn't it? And then the rest of them are going to be puppets all around.
Yeah.
So to act with that is going to be really interesting.
Yes, yeah. I'm looking forward to that actually. So.
It's, yeah. So in the film, were they real animals or was it metaphoric? Because I heard a rumour, this is Life of Pi, because wasn't it that like the hyena was meant to be the chef or something like this?
Yeah.
Is that true?
I don't know that. I've heard that as well.
I never got to the bottom of it.
So they aren't actual animals, they're symbolic of the people that are on the
that were
ship
stuck
with
on
him.
that ship with him. So where's that one filmed? That's in London, did you say that
Yes,
one?
yeah, I can't remember the theatre. I've got it somewhere listed down, but yeah, National Theatre one. So.
And again, is that captured or is that a live one?
I'm not 100% on that one. I think it's going to be captured.
Yeah.
National theatres do tend to film
And again,
them.
I can see with the editing side of things why it would be easier to do that.
So they do rehearse them, but the theatre ones do tend to be often more recorded. But...
It's really interesting. It's a nice way of getting a bit of culture.
Exactly, yes, yeah. And when you consider the cost of living and everything like that, you get to see the show in the cinema and you don't have to travel to
all
London.
Of that with it, hotel,
Bristol.
Travel, show tickets.
Yeah, the cost all round, it's a fraction.
It's the way to do it, isn't it? Yeah, it's nice. Like I say, it's something different for you guys to bring down here as well.
Yes, yeah, and there is a core element that really enjoy the productions as well. So
is there much? Obviously, there must be you doing them, but like a take for the theatre side of it.
Definitely, yes, yeah, and it does depend what you're doing. Like the ballets and operas, we do tend to have a strong audience of about 40 to 50 that come and see pretty much all of those.
Really?
You might get a few more depending on the production, because some are a bit more, like Madame Butterfly done a lot better than some of the other. We've done one recently like Water for Chocolate, which wasn't so popular, but that's because it's a new contemporary one. So people do tend to prefer the more traditional ones. I think we've got Cinderella one coming up soon, and Turandot, so they're like the well-known ones.
So I think it's great that there, it shows that there's the want for it. This is the thing.
Yeah, and the theatre stuff does often to me. With that last year, the Prima Facie, I'm not sure exact pronunciation, with Jodie Comer, and that was huge. Certainly in Truro done massive with it, because we showed it twice, but they had it back for a number of encores. It kept on selling out, so they kept on bringing it back in because it was really, really popular. Yeah, excellent performance.
I love that. That's good to hear in the sense that these things are being supported as well.
Yeah, definitely. So this year I think Live Pie will do well, and there's another one with David Tennant, a bit later in the year.
Yeah.
So if you've got a good name star in the production, you think, that's going to be good. I did see National Theatre yesterday have announced they're doing a Gareth Southgate play, but that's not been shortlisted on our stuff yet. So
I've not been offered to play the role. What's happening there?
Who's it? It's,
I did see that it's been announced.
Joseph Fiennes, isn't
That's it?
Yeah,
yes, And I can kind of see that.
Yes, yeah, I think it's good casting. Yeah.
It's an interesting casting.
Yes. Yeah.
I think. Why not? Because did you see also the Great British Bake Off musical?
Oh, I heard there was one. Yeah, well, I'm not sure about that, to be honest.
I said I was talking to our Nathan about it, and I said I can see where they would get a storyline. You've got some of the former winners, such as like Nadia, who was very shy and very reserved, and then obviously came into the Bake Off tent and then really grew, and now she's off doing amazing things. So I can see a storyline there. However, I'm not offering to write a song about it because I wouldn't know where to start.
No, I just don't see how you can get a whole show out of it. So I'm struggling with that one. So.
And it would be interesting to see, are they going to have Mel and Sue,
is
double?
It going back to BBC Bake Off with the original ones, or are they going to show the transition and different hosts coming in?
I think you can tell the difference nowadays, because it's Love Productions, wasn't it? They're the production company. But, so that's one to watch as well. So there's lots happening.
Who's going to be the new host, though?
Yeah, replacing Matt Lucas.
Yeah.
This is the thing, it's all up for grabs now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Speaking of which, that's our time to audition, I reckon. About now. I reckon
yes,
we can do that. We can take it on.
I enjoy Bake Off, and I think you need, like, Noah and Matt, but they don't do a great deal, though, do they? That's the thing.
No, I think I missed that heart with Mel and Sue.
Yeah.
It's difficult. I mean, if I had the Bake Off gig, I would sort of feel in the way I would feel these people are, are really putting everything into this baked good, and
just
you've got
gonna
me
make some
going around
silly
saying
comments.
quits,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I'm thinking, oh, I feel really in the way.
Yeah.
Now, you've got lots and lots going on, so that's fabulous. to
Absolutely,
hear.
yes, yeah.
So that's right, folks. You heard it here first. If you're looking for things to do, be it live, theatre or pre-captured theatre, or Puss in Boots and the latest and greatest coming out in the film, be sure to check by. We're here in the lovely White River Cinema with Will. But yeah, check into any of your local WTW cinemas in the area, see what they've got on.
If you'd like to find out what's on at your local WTW cinema, please head to wtwcinemas.co.uk. And don't forget, you can win a £20 e-gift voucher with our competition. Make sure you check it out on our socials.